Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing good. I'm doing not too bad. We might have some interruptions. I'll work through if we do. What my topic today is how the, I won't say illiterate, but I'll say vaguely educated or barely educated people have an awful lot to say towards the people that are highly educated, I've noticed in this world. Um, I had, I think it's a woman, contact me. Um, she's worried about my soul because I had pointed out what the Catholic Church isn't going to tell people. Doesn't matter if it's the Roman Catholic or whatever it is. Being that I've studied all religions to get to where I'm at, and this started in junior high school, actually in elementary school, but junior high school will just play it safe. That's how long I have been doing what I'm doing right now to bring the truth of what the scriptures actually are to people, not the actual text, not the watered down translated versions. Do you want to get to the source of the text, or do you want a revised copy of something that has things added and taken out? That's up to you. But if you're one of those watered down type of people, worried about my soul, to probably about maybe the first time any Christian's ever been worried about my soul at all. That's pretty amazing, you know. Wow, thank you. I was a little concerned about yours too. That's why I'm sharing the truth. So, why is it when people are sharing the truth of the actual text that began the whole situation for people on this planet get so much flack from those that aren't willing to go in that direction because of the lies and the money that can be made for those lies? And then some other dude wrote something about, oh, somebody going to Yale and um, whoever it is. I don't know if it's a philologist. I think he was comparing one person's language abilities to somebody else's understanding of what those scriptures would be. I have no clue. I don't know if the person went to seminary, if they know more than three, four languages, or that would constitute them being not just a linguist, but a philologist. So I'm not sure. And you're right. It doesn't matter if people have master degrees. That doesn't make them a good source of information. But getting down to the truth of things for people, that makes you the best. So I don't know why this last person I was talking about, like, what are you, the opposition? Are you opposed to the facts and the truth? Or do you see what somebody else has handed you without knowing any better into those languages as facts for you? I don't know where you're coming from, but whatever. It's just lovely that people are so concerned about others. Like I said, first time I think I've ever been prayed for out here on the internet by a Christian. Thank you, thank you. So, yeah, it's been a little bit gloomy today, a little rainy yesterday, rainy this morning, but starting. getting some sunshine now. So cheers, everybody. Sometimes I think people are just, if they don't understand it, if they're not lazy, I don't know if it's um, disregard for another human being's hard work or what it is. I have no clue on that. But then other times I think it has to do with flat out jealousy towards people or uh, thinking that they had the ability to demean somebody in some way. Mm, I don't know. I don't know what's inside some of their heads. I have no clue. So, I've been watching gardening videos, well, greenhouse videos. Like I do have a pineapple plant, but I'm gonna start bananas, and I have avocados growing, but more fruit trees and fruit things, I think, is what I'm gonna go for. Um, Being that I will have the extra light, I am where I uh, am in the growing season I'm in is really limited. Here we have about 3 months outside that we can grow garden stuff. So, excuse me, like I have potatoes and red potatoes and yeah, we used to plant a big garden, but I mean, there's just the two of us. There's really no sense going out and unless it's just for the flavor, like we want to grow tomatoes or something that's we get a lot of our stuff from the Amish, but yeah. And if you can buy it cheaper than you can plant it, that's another thing too. Especially if it is delicious, like their stuff always is wonderful. So, yeah, this year we've gotten tomatoes from them twice and lettuce once. Um, I want to get some of their sweet peppers. They're like green or red or yellow peppers for cooking. I like to put them in my freezer and just have it where I can take pieces off whatever I want. Not a lot, but just I love stuffed peppers. Doug's not big on it, like Spanish rice and stuffed peppers. I don't put ketchup in mine or cheese. I have, like, I've seen other people squirt ketchup on top after they stuff them. I don't do that. I just make my Spanish rice, and if I have the hamburger in there and onion and tomato and um, salt and pepper, whatever, stuff my peppers and then bake them like that. I don't know. I don't really like the cheese on it. I just like to get the flavor of the pepper. So that's how I do them. So yeah, if you have like diced tomatoes that you make your Spanish rice with, and you can put tomato sauce in there if you want it more like more red from the more tomato flavor, which I typically will do, something like that. But I don't know. Just been watching baking recipes today. Puff pastry, apple pies. Right now I have a dessert in 5 minutes. You take puff pastry, cut them in little squares, stick a chunk of chocolate on there, and a chunk of a slice of strawberry. I don't know if she's going to cover it. It's a um, channel called Baking Day, but I thought those sound good. It looks like they're making other ones with it too. So that's what I've been doing this morning. Yeah, just kind of hanging around. Actually, we're waiting for a phone call, so if the phone rings, I don't think I'll have to answer it because Doug's still in here, but if he goes, I will have to, so. But it's not a big deal. I'll just deal with it when it happens. I might say be back later and click off. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. So. But the disappointment, back to my topic, of people not caring to dig in for what the truth is. I mean, um, I have so many people in this um, YouTube community that would consider themselves truthers and could care less about sharing the truth. They're sharing not what they've studied for decades, but what somebody else tells them, whether they've had that studies for in languages and everything for decades. These people don't care. It's like, and yes, you could say you had what, like a 4-year degree or whatever in your master's and in one subject, and that makes you what? So I agree that there are people out there that take Jason Brazier's from Archaics, for instance. He's got like decades of reading nothing but classical texts, old texts. And if you're not into reading any of the languages that are going on in the world with where we get our scriptures from, not Hebrew, please pardon yourself. Go right now and stay over there because you have no clue about the changes in our holy scripture. So you need to go sit down with the little people and let the big dogs do the hard work because obviously you're not in that category. Just be careful what untruths you're sharing before you open your mouth. Yeah. And I'm not even going to go look at this one person had said something about somebody and he could be a genius and what, let me see, I'm going to read this to you. I just thought it was obnoxious. It's really no reason for it. The woman now coming at me about her church, mm, I can kind of see that. Um, I was in a Catholic girls' school and actually was a cheerleader for the Catholic football team too. But Hillman is an expert because of his degree. One degree? No, not just one. Um, Chris Cantaleno was a Yale trained scientist. Yet he's still out of his mind. Genius and crazy are by no means exclusive. Hmm. Um, oh, uh, oh my goodness. Okay, here goes. The guy did answer me. I wrote very true. Yale, Bethel, Harvard, Boston, where and whoever. Sharing proofs and text to back it up is key. Don't you agree? And also, Dr. Hillman is trained in a trained virologist and worked in neuroscience with more than a few masters. No biggie. To the unwilling to learn and share, I see. I will add philologists is way more in depth in comparison. Okay, this baby. Okay, here we go. No serious philologist agrees with his take that the Septuagint came first. Mm-mm-mm. Boy, you must have decades under your belt, dude. He's yet to actually cite an expert on this. He is the expert. And Carl Ruck also went to Yale and Harvard, agrees with him. You're out of your mind, dude. Okay. He claims are his claims are easily disproven and he fails to cite his sources. That's a god dang lie. It's just like because he's writing on this where I had cited my sources also in correlation with Dr. Hillman, how the Hebrew Bible added vowels to their language to try and get in touch with what the Greek Septuagint was. Whatever, whatever. And your Dead Sea Scrolls have been disproven also by experts. But I'm not going to argue with somebody. Whether you are on the side of the deception or on the side of the people that want to get down to the bottom of our history. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I'm sure, like me, you were raised by the Dark Cabal and you knew all their tricks and agendas that they were going to do to people. And you're out here, like me, caring about others and trying to share that information. I applaud you. Anyway, so yeah, people work so hard. Who are you disproving? Me? And I pull up the Britannica sources of all the history of the changes and what it was and read it to people so they wouldn't have to take the time to do that. And you're still going to argue about it. Yeah, anyway. There was a Saturday Night Live skit it reminds me of called Lowered Expectations. So, yeah. Doesn't cite the sources, gets out the medical book of Galen, one of the volumes, that that thick, goes through each Greek word, showing you where. And by the way, if you want to take ancient Greek so you can learn how to read the Septuagint for yourself in its original form, the classes are on Wednesday night. Otherwise, you can pay for them. And there's other people out there that have like companion videos that will help you with those uh, verbs and different things within the Greek language. Is a trip, and it's no wonder that other people from other countries couldn't decipher it because it's just too technical. And if you tried, I shared a video on the Greek companion a few days ago. Go look at that. Go look what it takes to study that language because there's very few people that are experts in that ancient language. Not just one master, but three of them is what Hillman has in Greek, ancient Greek that he taught in seminaries and in a college, a very well known college, university rather, and also a master's in Latin and virology and worked in neurology, taught seminary school and ancient Greek. Oh no, I'm sure he's not an expert at all. None of us are that know better. You just don't like what's coming out with the truth. That's what you don't like. Well, that's okay. It's not going to be stopped just because somebody's so simple minded that they won't learn another language to be able to decipher things the right way. Tell me this, people. Have you ever picked up a dictionary and looked at every single existing word? Be honest, because a philologist, people like me, we do that. We have done that. That's how I decoded the King James, just like the Jesuits that taught me. I did it just like the three-time over master mason sitting in his den when I was a little kid. Did it identical to how he taught me how to do that. He didn't actually teach me, I learned it from watching. Then I was taught after I got busted, and they couldn't quite keep me from being so curious about everything. So you can either respect that or take a and hike. Get the hell out of my face. Unless you want to come in my face. I don't have a problem with that either, by the way. That could be rather lovely if you get my meaning. I'll either give you free sparring lessons because you're surely not going to be teaching me anything. Nothing. A lot of men tried, but I'm sure you would be one of them. That's what it seems like to me, but maybe not. You could be a gentleman. You could actually care about people. You could actually have God in your heart, and you could actually want the truth. Yeah, could. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? So, anyway, I can understand people trying to oppose um, different ideals in their life that they don't feel comfortable with. I I thoroughly understand that part. I really do. Yeah, go make up your own stuff like they did and run with it with your limited language skills. Oh, anyway. Oh, back to the woman that was worried about my may God have mercy on your soul, she said to me. Well, I don't give a fuck if he does or not, because I trust in the fact that he's gonna have mercy on all you stupid. So no worries, but thank you for your concern. I appreciate that. Why would somebody take the time to write something that makes them look utterly foolish? That's a rich thing right there. Oh, I forgot Berkeley. Dang it. Sorry I know there's people with masters that went to Berkeley that listen to me. Sorry. My apologies. That's also a really good university. Not that I've ever had a desire to go there for anything. Maybe your psychology course. Maybe. And that's a iffy thing, you know. That with anybody that gets their medical doctrine, like Dr. Hillman did, um, or Dr. Carl Ruck, or some of these actual physicians, medical doctors in that science with those degrees, along with their language skills and their other specialities. Um, oh, I don't know where I was going with that. I heard a noise. Just a minute. Anyway, I'll get back there. Well, that's what I was going to say. Psychology. Um, I was a nurse, but one of the first things we do in our first year, and doctors have to do this too, is take a psychology course before you go dealing with people. So isn't it interesting that people that are treating you medically for your physical problems have to dive a little bit into what your mental problems might be too. That I was a paraprofessional for, and a TMA and a trained counselor, um, working for my state. So it's sort of one of my passions, along with being a licensed ordained minister. Not something I totally would brag about, but it's one of my accomplishments. Also a licensed contractor in my state. Yeah, I got to do a lot of things. So I call it doing whatever I had to do to make my world go around, especially after I had my sons. I have two of them and four granddaughters now. So, yeah, I'm out here caring about people because I really actually do. And I'm not going to let anybody's limited education put me on default mode, you know. Like I say, dig into the Greek companion that I shared. Just look at that for about it'll drive you crazy if you don't have the type of brain that wants to learn. You'll cry from the excess mind expansion. You will not be able to deal with it. You're out of your league. Do not fucking say shit to me again unless you want to um, have the respect that people like me deserve. Otherwise, you don't belong here at all. And I was really surprised that more people didn't, even nobody even wanted to share. Adding vowels to a language to be able to coin terms and and create words. After I read you that, and when that happened, after the Greek Septuagint was written, I mean, these things came, say, if they came out of Crete and um, they're burning the Library of Alexandria and they get it to like Sicily or Italy or whatever, and then it got Latinized and then it got homogenized into like German or whatever, um, like the Colderin Bible or whatever. I mean, if a lot of people, if you haven't followed the history of what the scriptures did, and you're just studying it in one area and don't know the migration of people, the Jews that lived in Greek at that time and were Greek speaking scholars back then, you're talking out of your posterior, and I really, really disrespect you. I have little disregard. In fact, I'll invite you. I live in Pine City, Minnesota. Want to spar? I don't care who you are or what you look like. You deserve to have a taste of my passion. My most loved thing is my martial arts skills. You're welcome to come and have a taste of that anytime. We'll have a cup of coffee and then go out in the yard. I have a big yard, huge yard. So, cheers again. so, So that's where I'm coming from. You're either lazy or you're not. You either want to know or you don't. And if you don't respect the people that actually do and are telling the truth for the other people in the world, you're one of them. You're on the other side and you are being guided by the dark force. And I'm going to end my video on that because you're showing. Right, keep typing because that's everybody. That's what it is. There you go. The limited education speaks pretty loud, doesn't it? You have an awful lot to share for the humans on this planet, don't you, lovely person, people? Yeah, mercy. Mercy me. Anyway, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.